What's up, doll collectors, hobbyists, fabs, and besties? I'm Toya, an adult doll collector. Welcome to my miniverse. This year marks 13 years of MyFroggyStuff. Yo, I was in my 20s when we started making videos. And I'm still in my 20s. Just joking. I'm in my 30s. Fine, I'm in my 40s. Today we're gonna do a little crafting and take a walk down memory lane. I have an idea I want to try out using a toothpaste cap and a paperclip. Let's start by making sure the toothpaste cap is free of toothpaste. Then unfold the paperclip. On the larger hook, I cut the end so we can use it as a handle. I push it onto the side of the cap to make a little indent, then carefully make a hole at the marks. Make sure the holes are large enough to fit the ends of the paperclip. I allow the paperclip to go all the way through underneath, but on top, I trim it down just a little. And it already looks like a little mug with a handle. Are you asking why didn't I just make it this way? Of course, that's an option. I'm just trying to make a certain little mug, so I need mine to look like this. And I want a matching set. So while I'm doing that, check out this video. With the holidays approaching, I thought it'd be fun to make a miniature elf on the shelf. Using a red and white pipe cleaner, felt, embroidery floss, a needle and thread, wooden beads, and paint. I start by bending a pipe cleaner, trim off the excess, begin twisting it at the top for the head, body, and legs. Cut a piece of a white pipe cleaner, then twist it around for the arms, leaving enough space at the top to place the bead later. Trim the fluff from the arms and legs. Using embroidery floss or thread, begin to tightly wrap the arms. When I get to the end, I bend the pipe cleaner, go back and wrap it a few times, then continue back down the arm. Continue on the other arm, go around the neck, tie it in the front, and trim off the excess. Repeat on the legs using red. Cut small rectangles of felt, wrap it around the legs and arms, and I use a needle and thread to sew the ends together on the back, covering the leg in felt. Repeat for the other leg, and to minimize the bulk, I tried to keep the rectangle of felt as thin as possible. Then continue on the arms, leaving a little white on the ends for the gloves. For the body, I cut a small rectangle, make small cuts on the sides to go around the arms, then sew the ends together to close it in the back. Tie a knot the string and trim off the excess. On a thin rectangle of white felt, cut a zigzag pattern, wrap it around the neck, and sew in the back. I take a wooden bead and paint it a skin tone, lightly sketch the face and hair with a pencil, go over it with paint. I watered down a little pink to go around the eyes. Then I began to fill the eyes in with white. Add the eye color. I painted one with blue eyes and one with brown. Add black for the pupil, then eyelashes, then a tiny white dot for a little shine. Add some lips, paint on the hair, add a clear drying glue over the eyes to make them glossy, cut a pie shape out of the felt, with the rounded end on the bottom, fold it in half, sew up the side to make a cone. Turn it inside out, glue it onto the bead, cut a thin strip of white and glue it around the edge. To make sure the hat fits snug, I am holding the white felt firmly in the back until it dries. Attach the head to the body to make a posable, doll-sized elf on the shelf. And you're done. Happy crafting!
Sitting close to keep us warm. The mistletoe is hanging at the door. Christmas is the time to set your mind and spirit free. Everybody smiling while we decorate the tree. If I could, I wish for you to spend Christmas is here with me. Tell me.
All right, now that we have two, add small drops of hot glue around the base, leaving a little space between them. Then I go back and fill it in. Once the glue dries, I use the nozzle to just kind of like scrape going up. We're just trying to add like a little bit of texture and smooth it out. Add a second row of drops, then scrape them going up, then add a third to make what hopefully looks like, or will look like, a little tree mug. And I filled in the bottom with hot glue so it will be flat. Now I just have to go and make the second one. While I do that, enjoy this next video. Here are some quick crafts for the holidays. I'm gonna make festive headbands for our dolls using paper clips. I start by unfolding a paper clip. Measure around the doll's head from ear to ear. I'm going with 3.5 inches. Cut the paper clip down to size. Cut a rectangle of felt. Place the paper clip on the felt. Add a line of hot glue. And remember to always have adult supervision when crafting. Fold the felt over to close the paper clip on the inside. Trim off the excess. Bend it to look like a headband. Take a pipe cleaner, fold it over the headband, twist it to hold it in place, bend and twist the pipe cleaner to form the antlers, wrapping the ends around to make a fuzzy antler. Repeat on the other side to make two. Cut rounded triangles out of brown felt, cut a smaller one out of white, then glue it onto the brown, fold over one side to make an ear. Glue it onto the headband, use ribbon to tie a bow, glue it onto the antler, repeat for the other side. We found some tiny bells. I'm gonna glue those onto the antlers so they can jingle. And finish our reindeer headband. Let's make another one. After unfolding the paper clip, glue on the felt, trim, and bend to make the headband. We found snowflake buttons at the craft store. Glue them to the headband, take a piece of ribbon, fold over the sides, wrap the center with thread to make a bow. Glue it to the center, glue a jewel to the center to make a snowflake headband. Make a green headband, take a green tinsel pipe cleaner, add beads, bend it in a spiral to make a little tree. I put a yellow bead at the top, trim off the excess, glue it to the headband, touch the beads with a little bit of nail polish, dip it into glitter to make a tree headband. I found these stickers at the craft store. I think we can make a fun headband out of these. Make a red headband, peel off a sticker. These are hard plastic stickers, kind of like buttons. Glue the candy cane onto the headband. Add the holly stickers to make a candy cane headband. To make this for a larger doll, I use a larger paper clip, so they can join in on the fun too. You can get really creative with your headbands. Using beads, buttons, and stickers, you can also cut a wide triangle of felt, fold over and glue the sides down, trim the bottom to make a cone, glue white felt around the bottom, fold it over on the seam, and glue into place. Glue a white pom-pom onto the end, glue it onto the headband, add a sticker for a Santa hat headband. Thank you for joining us while we made some holiday headbands. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram at MyFroggyStuff and the Frog Vlog. And you're done.
Happy crafting!
Summer's long gone, baby. The first snow is about to fall. Everybody's waiting for what's to come. We gather round the chimney, sitting close to keep us warm. The mistletoe is hanging.
Welcome back. I think my second one is way neater. totally getting better with practice. Now we just have to paint them. I'm using green acrylic paint, taking my time getting into all of those little itty bitty spaces. Let's paint the handles gold, the inside brown, and since it's a cap, there's like a little level there, which is pretty cool because it makes it look like the cup is already partially full. Add a few dots of paint to decorate it. Add paint and Mod Podge inside the mug. Cut a cotton swab to make mini marshmallows, then drop them into the paint. And I'm using them to make sure I cover the end of the paperclip. Brush it with clear nail polish. And now we just have to wait for them to dry. While waiting, let's make a quick little backdrop. We made these printables a few years back, and I think they're perfect for a quick holiday scene. I printed 4 pages. They are totally not printer ink friendly. Yeah, that's a lot of red ink. So you can always use scrapbook paper instead. I have a piece of foam board here, so we can make a quick little binder room or a hidden doll room. If you don't want to use foam board, you can always use cardboard instead. This foam board measures 20 by 28 inches. I make a mark at 13 inches so I can cut the board into 2 pieces. We're not making a big room here, just a small scene for quick photos. I lay out my printables and I can see I'm a little short. But we'll worry about that when we start to glue everything down. First, I make a mark at 12 inches from the sides and score a line, being careful not to cut all the way through so the wall can now bend. Repeat on the other side, making what looks like a wide binder. Begin covering the walls with the printables or scrapbook paper if that's what you're using. Oh, this is an old printable and my fireplace is a little crooked. So we're gonna cut a little bit of foam board and glue it onto the wall. I am trying to keep everything pretty flat here because this is just a binder room. But I can't help myself, so we're gonna stack and layer this foam board to make the fireplace a little more 3D. Hopefully that straightened it out a little. However, I did cover up some of my garland at the top, so now we have to do something about that. Let's cut a strip of green cardstock, then fold it in half. Make small cuts going all the way down on the side opposite of the fold. Once everything has been cut, we're just gonna start trying to kind of mess it up a little bit. I made more than one, and I'm gonna glue them together. Let's glue it on above the fireplace. It's not a perfect match, but it's adding some nice texture to this space. Now we need poinsettias. I made these last year. I didn't make a video. I was just playing around and cutting out paper and gluing them together. I cut out each individual little petal or leaf, and it took forever. This year, I'm going to use a hole punch. If you don't have a hole punch, you can totally cut this by hand. It'll probably even look better because this is not like a perfect poinsettia shape. I have red cardstock, green cardstock, and some beads. Cut one large flower out of the green. This paper's pretty thick. There we go. Cut one large flower out of the red cardstock, and then the smaller one out of the red as well. I use a little tacky glue. I'm using the end of a Q-tip as like a little tool to apply a little tacky glue to the center of the green. And then we're gonna place the red on top, but make sure those petals are off center a little bit if you can. Then add a little more glue to the center of the red one and glue down the smaller petals. And if you want a more full flower, bloom, whatever, just use more layers. I cut one of the beads and glue it to the center. Please forgive my nails. All this rerouting and paper folding has destroyed them. And I'm not gonna sit around and redo them, so yeah. Because there's no time! Christmas is right around the corner and we have lots to do. Once dried,
let's bend the little petals forward, or leaves. Not completely sure about the anatomy of a poinsettia. And I'm going to take the larger ones and curl it just a little. They kind of look like lilies, but in our setting here, in the background, I think it'll work. I made a whole bunch more that need to dry, so while we're waiting, let's make a tree out of paper. I'm using a green cardstock. I have 5 pages here, and I'm going to fold each one in half. Draw a line from the corner to the end, cut on the line drawn to end up with a few triangles. We have a large one that was on the fold and then 2 smaller pieces from cutting that angle. I'm gonna make little cuts just like we did on the garland all the way down the edges. Then take the loose ones and add a little tape to the side and tape it into the center of the larger one. Repeat for the other one, and if you have that good disappearing tape, that's the best. Mine's kind of visible, but hopefully once all of the parts have been put together, you won't really notice it. That is from just 1 piece of cardstock, but I want my tree to be a little fuller, so I'm gonna add a few more. I made 5. It does take a little while to do all that cutting. Tape or glue them together. Our tree is standing, but it's not quite done. I want to add some lights. So here is my battery pack, and I'm going to glue the tree on top, flush with one of the sides. I glued the sides of the tree down so mine's flat in the back because we're going to glue this against the wall. Then I'm going to take the excess wire and place it right in the seam so the lights come out the top. Use tape or glue to hold it in place. Then I glue my tree onto the wall, making sure everything can still close up. You know what? I kind of want my tree to go in the corner, so I'm going to remove the glue from this side, only this side. This is why I can't keep my nail polish looking pretty. Aw, I just broke a nail. Now that side has a little more flexibility so it can handle being near a corner. Glue the tree and the battery pack to the wall, making sure we still have access to the switch so we can turn the lights off and on. We need to make the tree look a little more full, so I'm just going to start bending the leaves or the pine needles in different directions, going all the way down. This is going to just make it look like an actual tree. I am bending each individual triangle, and that's what's going to just add that girth, I guess, to make everything kind of fan out and separate so that all of them don't just try to stick together. This is a pretty heavyweight cardstock. I got it at Michael's in those, I think it was 100 sheets kind of pack. This can get a little cumbersome while being glued to the wall, so you might want to bend your pine needles before gluing it in place. But overall, not a bad looking paper tree. I feel like my garland is a little underwhelming next to my tree, so maybe we can make a new one, but this time let's just cut the needles longer. And I'm cutting them at a slant, just like we did for the tree. Then let's bend them. I made 2. We're gonna put those together and then just add them to the fireplace. It's definitely a lot larger, but I think it matches the tree a little better. Now I'm gonna take these lights and begin gluing them around the room. I went across the top, over the mantelpiece, and I add them to the tree, but I'm gonna go up and down and try to go between the layers just so it doesn't look like super messy with the wires. Then I leave the tree going back around the wall, up the side, and across the top. So we have lights going all the way around the room. Let's add some beads. And just like the lights, we're taking them all over the place because we want there to be tons of decorations in this space. Now we're gonna add some bulbs because the decorations in this movie were like insane. There was stuff everywhere, tons of bulbs. It was visually absolutely beautiful. Now we can add all of our little poinsettias, which look like lilies. Everything is looking pretty festive. I think we can just use a few pictures on the wall or our hot glue frames to add a little more detail to this space. Lay down a poster or scrapbook paper to change the floor and a rug to make a holiday background for our doll photos.
Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You let me. Doesn't matter, it's Christmas in my heart.
And now, are you ready to see our new miniature mugs? Well, even if you're not, here they are. They are little Christmas trees with ornaments. I think they turned out super cute. And they match some of our other hot glue crafts for this season. Look at us being all coordinated, and we made two, so we could have a pair. I love that this used to be a toothpaste cap. And we've enjoyed crafting with all of you throughout the years and hope for many more. Thank you for joining us for this craft and mashup. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram at MyFroggyStuff, the Frog Vlog, and Bella of MyFroggyStuff. And we will see you next time. Bye!
They said, saying it, but you got up in that bag, yeah. I got racks in my sack, hurt my back, yeah. They said, saying it, but you got up in that bag, yeah. I got racks in my sack, hurt my back, yeah. They said, saying it, but you got up in that bag. I got racks in my sack, hurt my back. Merry Christmas, everybody.